I'ma be the beam. Keep on crying. Oh. Why does my hair look like this? My hair is just so scruffy all the time. Just scruffy. Just scruffy. Let me get my cashews. Oh, maybe I should share this live. Should I share this live? Let me share it. Share. Twitter. I am. I hate that my hair looks so scruffy. Hello. Congrats on 2K. Thank you, Shamar. So, I wanted to get on here real quick just for like a minute. I didn't feel like making a whole video and having to edit and export and all that stuff. So I gotta just go live and talk about it. Even though I don't know nobody care about my little opinion, but everybody giving their opinion. Even people who never talk about stuff like this giving their opinion, which throws me because why do y'all care? But I'm gonna give my opinion because fun fact about me. I like other people's drama. I just do. I like other people's drama. It's entertaining. It's entertaining to me. Excuse me, girl. I feel like I've always, like, I watch all the T pages. I don't necessarily interact or comment or any of that stuff. But any type of social media influencer drama, I'm always there. I didn't hear about Carmen and Carly. What did I say? I didn't hear about Carmen and Corey, but I know somebody who knows them personally, and so whatever it is probably a repeat of what they've already been doing. But I'm gonna get on that mess. Don't you worry about it. But I wanted to talk about this. In fact, I might do a live about that too, because you know, like I said, I be having time. So man, she got punched in the face by me. Oh yeah, I've been heard about that. The whole thing with them and Carmen and Corey and Meek. That's another one of those situations I was on, like, from jump, like, because I'm one of those people who, like, whenever it comes to the celebrity drama, these arguments, people just getting into it, I pay close attention to everybody's words, everybody's details, the behind the scene. I paid attention to who they was and what they were saying beforehand. I peeped tweets that was subtweeted that nobody ever brought to light. Like, I'm one of them people, but the only person I ever usually discuss it with is my boyfriend. And like, I've been told many times by my friends that I need to make one of them little pages that talks about tea, but I don't care enough. So I'm not going to do all that. But because Carmen is insecure and don't love herself and money. Those are the two basic reasons right there. Ain't got nothing to do with love. Ain't got nothing to do with them kids. It is simply money and lack of self-worth, period. That's all it is. As beautiful as that girl is, she ain't finna leave that man. 9 times out of 10, if they ever get divorced, it's gonna be because he leave her. But anyway, I want to talk about... So for those of you that don't know, I'm pretty sure people will watch this later because for whatever reason, more people watch my lives after the fact than during the live itself. But some book came out about that's supposed to expose Queen and Clarence and whatever, what have you. And Clarence was doing reactions on it, and it was funny. I was cracking up. Clarence was like going back and forth with the girl who did the video talking about the book or whatever. It was funny. It was hilarious. But I think the thing that made me decide, the thing that everybody was talking about was whether or not, like, what was true and if Clarence and Queen was, like, talking while they were both with other people. And I wanted to give my opinion or, like, my theory about what was going on because I feel like people are really trying to villainize them. But at the same time, people are either villainizing Queen and Clarence or they're villainizing Leslie. And I really feel like, personally, based off of everybody's stories now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I know that a lot of women got mad at me because I said this, but I really felt like Leslie was gassing it a little bit. Like, I felt like she was probably hurt. Like, I'm not taking away from her pain, but I felt like she was gassing it. Like, all that, it was 3 years ago, and you just huffing and puffing still. Like, maybe she's emotional. Like, some people are like that, but in my mind, I'm just like, to me, that was overselling the situation. Okay, honey, go back to class. I feel like that was overselling the situation. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, I feel like we shouldn't be villainizing anybody. I feel like nobody was necessarily at fault. Like, I feel like it was more of a different people. Like, I feel like, what am I trying to say? I personally feel like there's a little bit of truth in everybody's story, but in order to really know what's true and what's not true, you got to pay attention to what people were doing beforehand. Like, you got to pay attention. Like, if you knew Chris, for example, if you knew Chris and Queen before Clarence, that matters. If you knew what was going on before Clarence, not what's in the pages or whatever, like if you was actually watching their videos and was paying attention to the details, noticing energy, stuff like that, all of that beforehand, that lets you know a lot of the stuff. That right there lets you know some things. But another thing is when you listen to Clarence's story versus what's her face's story, and this is the thing that makes it hard for me to really like listen to anybody, like to really like 100% take her at her word, and that is because I personally feel like both her and I'm not even gonna get into Chris. Like, we're not even gonna discuss Chris because straight up and straight out, Chris is whack. Like my guy is whack. All he do is try to bring Queen down. This is how you know that somebody is negative or that somebody is in the wrong. When that person, they get online and the only thing they try to do is make the other person look bad. Like, he was like, oh, Queen and them painting me out to be the bad guy. You painted yourself out to be the bad guy. Like, videos were exposed of you and other females in your whole marriage. Like, there is no faulting Queen because divorces take time and they take money. So Queen was talking to Clarence before she was divorced. I don't really consider that cheating because if anybody, y'all, if you a woman, then you know that we tend to leave relationships mentally and emotionally before we leave physically. And I feel like that's just what happened. She left mentally and emotionally before she left physically. She may have still been married, but she was still single. Because like I said, it takes, like I said, he had already stepped out on her so many times. Like, this is like a more than one thing. Like, this wasn't new, and it was public. Not only was she cheated on, so her heart is getting broken over and over again, but it's a public affair. Everybody know that her man is playing her. Like, everybody know, not just because people are saying it. There are actual footage of her man with other females, and she's not finding out any of this from her man. She's finding out all of this from the internet. That was her life. And so if after that, if she gets embarrassed that many times and then she decides like she's done with him, like mentally and emotionally she's finished, and she starts talking to another nigga, like I feel no sympathy for Chris. So we're not even gonna talk about Chris. I feel no sympathy for Chris. Chris gets nothing. He didn't get cheated on, none of that. As the song said, he got a little taste of his own medicine, barely even, because really she was already gone. You was telling her lies and selling her dreams while playing her and being with other people. But towards the end, she started talking to another dude. I don't feel bad for you. No, sir, I don't. Period. You're good. Now, I'm going to address the part where everybody's talking about, you know, it's either Leslie's a bad person or Clarence and Queen are bad people. And I'm gonna tell you the straight up what I think really happened based off of both of their stories. I think that Clarence and this girl had an on and off relationship. They were both young. They both probably did stuff that caused each other to want to break up. They were arguing back and forth. They were young and they were dumb. So they were probably toxic. Especially, I feel like if you're a breakup makeup couple, you're toxic. Like that's how I feel. Like, I feel like if y'all break up every little while and then y'all get back together for like a second and then y'all break up again, you're toxic. So they were probably one of those couples. It is toxic. So it sounds like they were one of those couples. And they were on a hiatus or a breakup, or they're not together kind of, but they're still dealing with each other. Like, I feel like when Clarence and Queen first started flirting, when they first started getting together, I feel like Clarence was probably on a level still dealing with Leslie. And Leslie, on Leslie's end, she's thinking, I mean, they not together, but they're always not together, and then they get back together. So she's expecting in the back of her mind that they're going to get back together, and she's still in love with him. But he's already, men are, you know, y'all know how men are. Like, I'm not going to say he a bad dude because of that, because it's just, men are like that. He started feeling Queen, and so he distanced himself from Leslie. I don't feel bad for Leslie. I mean, you know, it sucks, but it was 3 years ago. So at this point, it's like, okay, so it happened. I'm sorry. Like, you got your heart broken 3 years ago. It's tough. I've been there. Like, I've gotten my heart broken. Like we as women, we get our hearts broken sometimes, but like I'm not gonna sit here. Yeah, girl, men are like that. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, she's crying. Like you're crying 3 years later. I'm wondering like, why are you not over it right now? Like why are you not over it? Because, and also the thing that bothers me about Leslie is that she's trying, and she lied also in her video. That's another thing that I felt like, y'all. I'm just out here dropping stuff. Hold on. Okay. She straight up lied in the video. She said, "Oh, I've been quiet this whole time. I've never said anything about them this whole time. I just been minding my business." Da, 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 da. That's a lie. That's a lie. Because like I said, y'all know, like I said, I keep up with all the tea. I keep up with all of the tea. She's talked about Queen. She's talked about Clarence. She's talked about both of them on social media. Not as often and as publicly as Chris, because Chris do the most. Y'all know Chris is just pathetic. But she's openly talked about them since they got together, because she was hating, like not in a negative sense, but like she thought she was gonna get back with Clarence, and she didn't. Clarence got with a whole nother female, a female that's big, and so she out here talking about, oh yeah, he missed me, da 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 da, she ain't me type stuff, dissing Queen, trying to make her seem like she ugly, trying to make her out to be a bad guy. Like she was doing this from jump. This is not new. This is not like, oh, now suddenly Leslie's on the board talking about something she ain't never talked about and opening up. No, she been talking mess about this couple for a minute. It's not new. I used to follow Leslie on Instagram, watched her lives. It's not new. Like, it's really not. I unfollowed her like over a year ago. But when I did follow her, she used to make little subliminals about them. They tweet something and she'd say something in response on Instagram. This is not new. She does this. That's what she do. And she didn't do it all the time. Like, she didn't like make the titles of her videos with their names or do obnoxious stuff like Chris Sales does, because Chris is weird. He's weird. It's weird. But I feel like the fact that you guys are making it like, oh yeah, Clarence broke her heart. Yes, he did. We all at some point or another, I'm sorry, but I've broken someone's heart before. When you're young, some people fall really hard when they're young. There are toxic relationships when you're young. There is breakup, makeup, somebody falls out of love before somebody else type of stuff. That does happen. And that doesn't make Clarence some heartbreaker. And somebody call him a narcissist. Let me tell you something. I know narcissistic behavior, and I will admit that Clarence is kind of arrogant. Like he be feeling himself, but there's a difference between arrogant and narcissist. Those two are not the same, and I feel like y'all need to educate yourselves a little bit about that. Narcissism and arrogance, not the same thing. I don't like arrogance. That's like the one quality Clarence has that I really, 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 really don't like. But it is what it is. Like, it's like he's arrogant, but I can't really say nothing about what he's saying because he's arrogant about things that are true. Like, I can't get mad at him for being arrogant. It's like, I don't like it. It's unattractive to me. But he does make money. He does dress good. He is attractive. His beard is magnificent. I'm so, like, it's just facts. Like, it's like, I don't like it. I don't like that he brags about himself. I think that that's kind of tacky, but it is what it is, you know. Like I'm just at this point, what can you do, what can you say? And on another note, but like I feel like y'all trying to make him out to be a narcissist is forcing it. Like I feel like he's not a narcissist, he's just full of himself. But narcissists are way more than just arrogant and full of themselves. Narcissists are unable to look at their own faults. They're unable to see anything as everything revolves around them. Everything is about them. They're abusive verbally and emotionally, and they will attack you and then make it your fault that you got attacked by them. That is what narcissists do. Clarence don't do that to nobody. Nobody. Even when Leslie talked about how she shouldn't have taken it back, she never really could lay down a solid fact about that made him narcissistic. Young and dumb and a man, yeah. Like, I'm not saying that he never did her wrong. And he even admitted, like, yeah, I did some stuff that wasn't cool and you had to take me back. But let's not forget the times when you did stuff that wasn't cool and I had to take you back. We was both young, we was both dumb, we was both on some toxic stuff. He had to talk to other women. And me as a business owner, like, I can kind of feel his energy about, like, people not feeling what you have to do. Like, when you're a business owner, you have to connect with people, you have to talk with people. And if you're a man and you sell clothes, you have to be able to talk to women. You have to be able to charm him up. Like, if my boyfriend was a salesman, for example, me and him have had these conversations. Like, that's the kind of person I am. If you're secure in your relationship, that kind of stuff shouldn't bother you. But, like, if you're a salesman and a woman come in and she think you fine, sometimes, you gotta, like, flash a smile, cater to their ego for like 2 seconds so you can make some money. Like, I'm not saying that you should outright disrespect them or go out to lunch with a girl or like flirt with her hardcore, nothing like that. But I told my boyfriend when he went to T-Mobile, he was like, yeah, this girl, he used to work at T-Mobile like a little while ago, and he was all like, yeah, this woman came in there and she was flirting with me, da, da, da. I said, but did you make the sale though? That's the question. Like I said, I'm not one of those women that's gonna be like, why you did it. Y'all not exchanging numbers. You ain't never gonna see that female again. Make the sale. And I feel like that's where Clarence's mind was, and some women can't handle that, and vice versa. Sometimes as a woman, you got to be able to say what you got to say to who you got to say it to, so you can make your sales, so you can make your money. Because that's what salespeople do. They cater to whatever needs to be catered to your ego, to whatever your mind is desiring, to your desires, so that they can make the sale. And that makes some people uncomfortable. That's why business isn't for everybody. Because if you're not willing to try to charm people, then you can't make sales. That's what sales is about. Charming your audience. And if you're selling clothes, that's about how somebody looks in their outfits, how somebody looks. You have to be willing to charm somebody. Like, you have to. Like, and I feel like that was probably a big issue. He was messaging women on social media, blase. And another thing that was said was that, everybody, it was obvious that Queen liked Clarence more than Clarence liked Queen. I do not disagree. I agree. I feel like Queen was way more into Clarence and Clarence was into Queen. But I also feel like that's okay. Like, that's not the case now. At the beginning, yes, when they first started out, like, Clarence was probably just playing the field. He don't know what's up. Like, he's just like, yeah, she cute. I'm liking the vibes. So I'm talking to her. And Queen is just head over heels because he fine. Like, Queen is that type of girl. Like, y'all don't understand. Queen was that type of female. She used to act like that around Chris. It's just Chris is like low-key a punk. So he ain't finna, like, they was already together when they came to YouTube. So Chris was reciprocating energy sometimes. But Clarence wasn't like that. Like, he was just filling her out. And then eventually he fell in love with her. So the fact that she was more into him when they first got together, that doesn't mean he was using her just because he wasn't like head over heels and all up under her ass when they first got together. When you first meet somebody, is that how you be? You just be and stuff like and he's a man. Like, I do believe that she was more into him than he was into her when they first got together. But I also feel like they had just got together. And she just so happens to be a very emotional person that falls hard fast. And he's not. I don't feel like that's a bad thing on his part. I don't even feel like it's a bad thing on her part. That's just how people are. And now he's fully fledged, committed, and in love with this woman. Y'all think that just because he wasn't all up under her ass and he was like chilling with her or whatever, that means that he was using her? Like, that's just not how things work, especially considering I didn't follow him before before they got together, but I did see him on my Explore page all the time. The nigga was popping before Queen. He wasn't as popping, and he's openly admitted to that. It's not like that's another reason that he can't be a narcissist, is because narcissists are not capable of giving the credit to someone else. And this man has openly given the credit to Queen for how successful he is right now. That's one thing that Chris can't seem to do, because let's be clear. People came to watch Chris and Queen, but they really came to watch Queen, because when Queen left, Chris is, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he gave the credit where the credit was due. And he's honest about that. That is how you know that, like, narcissism isn't what it is. He's arrogant as all get out. He's full of himself in a lot of ways. The man is arrogant. I'm not going to lie or play, like, that's just the way it is. I don't like it, but it is what it is. So I do feel like I feel like people need to stop, first of all, I feel like people should stop trying to victimize Leslie. Your heart was broken, but not in some malicious, villainous way. And when you're young, you get your heart broken. I feel like 3 years later, crying on camera, I feel like that was forcing it. But like I said, she could be an emotional person, and anything that like hurt her feelings in the past or whatever, she bring it up, she could get emotional again. And that's cool. That's you. I'm not like that. But some people are like that. It's just not me. But I do feel like I feel like she was forcing it, but whatever, that's just me. But I also feel like she could have very much had been left, and she could have thought, like, in her mind, the thing about a lot of women, which is why a lot of women got mad at me, because the thing about a lot of women is that y'all confuse the way that men think with the way that you think, and it's not the same. When they go on their little breaks in a man's mind, y'all not together. Like, y'all need to understand that. That's why I don't do breaks. When y'all go on breaks, men doing their own thing while you sitting at home heartbroken and mad and talking to your friends about him. He doing him. And I feel like they were on a break. They didn't know. He thinking, oh, it's over. He's not with her, whatever. And he's starting to feel Queen. And then he distances himself from Leslie even further. Leslie doesn't see it coming. Leslie gets her heart broken. Leslie feels hurt. Leslie feels like he lied to me all this time. Like, trust me, sis, I've been there, Leslie. Like, I promise you, I've been there. I feel you. But I don't feel like that makes him a bad guy. I feel like that just makes him a guy. Like, it's not negative. He didn't manipulate Leslie. And I also don't feel like he manipulated Queen. I just feel like he wasn't as into Queen at first. He just liked her. Queen really liked him, and he just liked her. Like, that's all it was. Queen is very emotional and touchy-feely and all in your face. And Clarence, even now, is still not like that. Although, he loves her. Like, it's obvious that he loves her now. But he's still not lovey-dovey and all up under her and doing all the little sweet stuff and bringing her all the da-da-da-da-da that all these other guys like to do on YouTube, because that's not in his personality. And y'all take it as somebody not caring, but I know many men like that. And I just some guys are just like that. And Queen is okay with that. And so, chill. Like, it's like y'all want Queen to be with somebody who acts like Chris did when Chris and Queen were together. But think about what Chris did behind closed doors. That's what's important. And behind closed doors, they are good. She don't never seem anything but happy these days. And that's what I love. That's what I love. The difference between she don't seem nearly as insecure as she did when she was with Chris. That's just character things, even though we only see like a certain part of their lives on camera. But if even the parts I see is toxic, that should tell you something. Like, that's all I'm saying. It's like, if all you see is toxic behavior, the thing is, it's always other people wanting to talk about them. It's other people wanting to bring them down, people that aren't as successful. And I personally feel like both Leslie and Chris both are upset, and that those two people left them and got together and then did better. I do feel like that's a thing. I feel like Chris especially. Chris so hurt. Oh my God, Chris so hurt. Chris is just, he really thought that him and Queen was going to break up, and he was just going to blow up and be successful and have all the hoes, and that's just not how his life went. He's just the father of many children and not making a lot of money. Like, not saying that he's not making money, because Chris probably in his bag. Chris does his thing. He knows how to clickbait. He knows how to make people talk about him. That's one thing Chris knows how to do. He knows how to make people talk about him. But the thing is that Queen and Clarence, they've never just outright said, oh yeah, we was with our other partners while we were talking. No, they're not. They got publicists. Publicists ain't gonna let you say that. But they low-key have hinted that, yeah, Queen wasn't officially apart from Chris. In fact, I'm pretty sure they said that in a video when they said Queen wasn't officially apart from Chris, like, divorce-wise. But her and Chris were basically over. They were just still living, because they wasn't together for a while, and then they got back together, and they wasn't together, and then it was like complicated. So it was a complicated situation, and towards the end, Queen started talking to Clarence. I feel like after everything Chris put Queen through, I'm not mad at Queen for talking to Clarence. I'm sorry, but Queen and Clarence, like, it just so happens that the person that Queen talked to while she was married, she ended up being with and having a child with and staying with and got successful with, and all them little junks that Chris got involved with. Well, we know what happened with that. That's all I'm saying. I feel like I feel like the internet right now is like trying to make it like either Leslie's a liar or villainous, or she's just a hater, or Clarence is a liar and villainous and just, wants everybody to think that he's perfect when he's not. He said he wasn't perfect. He said that he did stuff in that relationship that wasn't cool. He didn't say what. He was not being specific. He said she did stuff, I did stuff. Both of us had broke up, got back together. We had to take each other back. He said I did a lot of dumb stuff because I was young. He was open about that. That's not news. Like, he was like, it's not like, that's how you know he's not a narcissist. He's arrogant. Like, I'm not going to tell you, like, the man talks about himself and his money too much for my taste. That's the only thing about Clarence I don't like. At the end of the day, he respects his woman. He takes up for his woman. He takes care of his kids. He takes care of his business. He's loyal And he's just being himself, even if himself is a little messy. Because in my personal opinion, Clarence be kicking in with the girls and stuff. He a little messy, but that's cool with me because I'm always into the tea. I like tea, so like, so I'm not mad at that. But like, those are the facts of the situation. And I feel like if you really paid attention to what everybody said and everything that's happened in the timeline, because yes, I know everybody said Clarence. I mean, yeah, Chris and no, Clarence and Queen got together mighty fast after Chris and her broke up. But so like I'm sorry. So y'all say they got together mighty fast, but it's 3 years later and they still together. So what are you arguing about now? How are you arguing about this? Like, how is this still a discussion? How are you still mad that they got together fast when their relationship is a relationship that lasts without infidelity, without abuse, without anybody publicly embarrassing anybody? Just those two consistently having each other's back, regardless of what they exes say, da 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 da. The world hates them. Like, literally, there's like an entire Clarence and Queen hate club. I have nothing, like, I'm not necessarily a Clarence and Queen fan. I'm a Queen fan. I like Queen. But I'm not necessarily a Clarence and Queen fan. I think they're a cute couple or whatever, but I'm not that, into Clarence and Queen. I love Queen, and I kind of like Clarence individually. I like them both as separate entities. Or not entities, but separate individuals. But, like, together, it's, whatever, y'all cute, moving on. But, especially because their couple videos are not my kind of videos. I guess that's why I'm not a fan, because they don't post the kind of content that I'm into as far as couples are concerned. But that's like pretty much my take on it. Like, I really feel like everybody's kind of forcing it. I feel like everybody's trying to like choose a side, and I don't choose a side. Well, I don't consider Chris as a part of the equation. He made videos, but he didn't really add anything to the table. Like, he just made videos. Like, he made videos talking about the situation, because Queen is his ex and he can make him and he can get a bag from it. That's pretty much it. He made a diss track, but it wasn't really a diss track. It was kind of like a heartbreak love song for Queen. He literally said he was still in love with her, but we not gonna talk about that. That was interesting. Um, that was interesting, and so yeah, that's pretty much my own take. I wanted to get on here and kind of vent about it a little bit, because I feel like everybody's trying to like victimize someone, and I feel like nobody's a victim in this situation except for Queen when it came to Clarence. Like, I feel like Chris, not Clarence, but Chris, like when Chris did Queen wrong, that was just straight up dirty. Like, he did her wrong, he cheated. Clarence and Leslie weren't together. She can say they were together, but I feel like it's one of those situations where like they were on a break and whatever, or they hadn't talked in 2 weeks, and she just thinks, oh, we haven't talked in 2 weeks, but we still together. Like, that's not real life. Like, and that's not how men are. If your man ain't talked to you in 2 weeks, I'm sorry. But he was young. He was a man. I can't with that kind of situation. And I feel like and he was in a relationship where he was constantly arguing with her and getting into it with her, and then he goes with Queen where they don't argue and there's peace. Yes, sis, he wasn't coming to you again. He wasn't coming back. If he was a Queen, it was like the same old, same old. It was just the same chick in a different body. He probably would have went right back to Leslie or whatever. But made his little videos of Queen, got his bag so he could start his YouTube channel up, and then went back to Leslie. But like, that wasn't what happened. Queen became his piece. And y'all just do not, women, this is like my one little tidbit that's really important. You do not understand the power of becoming your man's piece. That does so much for a man, and I feel like that's what Queen did for Clarence. And I feel like Queen added value to his life, and he said Leslie didn't add value to his life. Leslie wasn't what he needed. And yes, that breaks her heart. I'm sorry, that did break your heart. But some people, like, they're tunnel visioned, and he was. And Queen became something that could add to his vision, instead of something that was just on the sidelines watching him build his vision, but then wanting attention from him at the same time. That doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make Leslie bad. It just makes her not right for him. And she wanted it to be right, but it wasn't. That's just the way that it is. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I got on here, I talked about it, chitter-chatted a little bit. Let me know what you guys think. I know some people that hate Queen and Clarence and really think they dirty and they cover up all this, that, and the other. And I know some people that love Queen and Clarence, think everybody lying and hating on them. I think that there's truth to every story, but I also think there's a lot of stuff that's made up and exaggerated and falsified and also misinterpreted, because I think that you guys thinking that Queen should have stayed and not flirted with somebody she liked to try to work it out with Chris, y'all bugging. Because the fact that she stayed with him after he cheated on her publicly the first time, I was mad. I unsubscribed to the channel. I was like, oh, you tripping. No. He did speak publicly. Multiple women came forward with videos, and you gonna stay with him? And not even, like, it didn't even take her long. It was marriage, so I understood, but I still unsubscribed because I didn't like the couple anymore. I thought it was gross because his behavior didn't change. He was not that apologetic. He was like, oh yeah, I made mistakes, and then deflected. So yeah, thank you guys for coming to my live. Those of you who came and those of you who come after, leave your comments in the comment section down below and let me know what you think. And yeah.